What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 365. What is going on? Today is February 28th. It is 11 a.m. and we are set for another episode of VR 365. This is episode 111 of the show. And you know what I just realized, guys, just a second ago here? I bumped into my mic. Hold on a second here. One thing that I just realized, tomorrow is March 1st. And you know what that means? That means I need to make a breakdown of all the upcoming games in March. That's something that I do on the 1st of every month, is I do this breakdown of all the games that are coming soon. So, damn, I got some work cut out for me. I got to find out what games are coming out in March, and I got to get their dates squared away and get some little snippets of the trailers and all of that and get that ready for our show tomorrow. But today is February 28th, and we've got some stories and some things to get into. Phil Yarn says he wants Ranthony. I mean, I don't know. That guy seems to cause a lot of problems. I pull that guy out when I need him, but I don't want to pull him out just for the sake of, you know, whatever. I got to be careful about that in terms of doing that. Brah Anthony is better. Yeah, what's up, brah? Hey, man. Dude, like, that's not cool, brah. Yeah, I like that guy, too. Yeah, that guy's kind of funny. Okay, so one of the first things I did want to say, though, about today's show, the word of the day, guys, discombobulation, baby. Yeah, I was trying to prepare for today's show, and I do have some topics prepared, but I don't have them like in a proper order. A lot of times I like to have, oh, this is topic number 1, and then we're going to go into topic number 2, and everything's going to go in a nice, smooth order. That's not going to happen today, guys. That's not going to happen today. And Sponge720 is asking, how's the keto going? I'm not on a keto diet. I was on a keto diet way before it was fashionable. I was on a keto diet before everybody and they mamas was on a keto diet, all right? That's how I got addicted to coffee. I wasn't even a coffee drinker. I was not a coffee drinker, but I got into keto. And a buddy of mine that was doing keto, he explained to me that the best way to start off your day is with a cup of coffee, but instead of using like cream and sugar, you use like heavy whipping cream. You know that you go buy a carton at the grocery store of heavy whipping cream, which is just like straight up pure fat. But if you're on keto, you're supposed to be burning fat. So that's what you want to do, right? And so I started using heavy whipping cream into coffee, and that's how I would start my day off. And I was eating a lot of eggs and basically no carbs whatsoever. Oh my God, it was so hard to not eat carbs, but I was doing it. I wasn't eating any carbs. I lost a lot of weight. I felt really good. Like, I felt great. But then what happened is I had to go to my doctor, and they were doing some tests, and my cholesterol was like, boom, my cholesterol just shot through the roof. My cholesterol was off the friggin' charts. And so my doctors was like, what are you doing? Your cholesterol is off the freaking chain. You need to chill out, man. You're going to have a serious problem here. And I was like, well, I'm doing this keto diet, doc. Bacon, eggs, cheese, meat, pork rinds, you know, all this stuff. I guess I was doing keto all wrong. But anyway, bottom line is I quit keto. I haven't been doing keto in the longest time, and I don't worry about that anymore. So I'm not on keto. Other people are on keto, not me. I don't know where this whole keto thing started, but I am not on keto. Okay, now let's actually get into a story that we're going to actually get into today. And so the first story of the day is I am about 95% sure that I am going to be at GDC, guys. I think I'm going to be at GDC. Now, why do I say 95%? Because who knows if some weird thing pops out at the last minute and I can't go to GDC. But as far as I know, I am planning to go to GDC. Like, I need to actually get like a hotel room, and I need to start, you know, doing the process of planning this out and figuring it out. Now, my strategy for GDC is that I'm going to drive up very early in the morning one day to the Bay Area. I'm going to go to GDC. I'll be there all day long. I'm going to spend the night. I don't know if I'm going to be spending the night somewhere in that area, or it might be like 35 minutes away and have to drive to GDC or whatever. But I'm going to spend the night one night, and then I'm going to go to GDC the next day all day long. And then I'm going to drive my ass back home. So I'm only spending one night, and I'm only planning on going to GDC for 2 days. So what I need to figure out is, what 2 days do I go? What day do I drive up? What day do I drive back? What are my 2 days that I'm going to go to GDC? And then the other thing I need to figure out is, what am I going to hit? But I can tell you guys this. I am super excited for this from the standpoint that it is very, very likely that I am going to get to demo the Oculus Quest. So that is super cool. I'm going to get my hands on the Oculus Quest and try it out before everybody else gets their hands on the Oculus Quest. Obviously, you know, a lot of people tried it out last year. I didn't go to Oculus Connect. I missed it, and I regret that. I still regret that to this day. But I'll finally get into some Oculus Quest demos, so I'll finally try that out. The other thing I'm hoping for, guys, is I'm hoping that there's going to be a booth somewhere where somebody is doing some kind of VR demo that has a Pimax 5K Plus, or possibly an Odyssey Plus, or a regular Odyssey, or maybe if I get super, super lucky, somebody's going to have like the Hewlett-Packard Copper or something like that. You know, there's going to be a 2160 by 2160 headset that's there. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But who knows? But I might get to try out some of these other headsets. I haven't tried any of them out, guys. The headsets that I've played, the only headsets that I've ever used, I've used a standard issue HTC Vive. That was the very first VR headset I've ever used. I've used a PlayStation VR. I've used an Oculus Rift, and I've used an Oculus Go. That is it. I've used 4 VR headsets, and that is it. I've never, ever used a Windows mixed reality headset. I've never used a Pimax. I've never used a Samsung Odyssey. I've never used any of that crap. So I'm really excited going to GDC. I hope I can maybe get lucky and try some of these things out. Maybe the Vive Cosmos will be there. Maybe I'll get to try that. I mean, who knows? The GDC it's not E3, and it's not Consumer Electronics Show. You know, this is Game Developers Conference. Like, people are there to actually like do real stuff. You know, it's not for people to try out new headsets, but I'm hoping that I get lucky anyways. Now, somebody was asking, am I going to be doing videos from GDC? You know, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do any of this, because honestly, I'm looking down here because, see, the thing is, like, the way I do videos, I have a webcam, a USB webcam that I'm looking at right here. It's a Logitech C920. That's what I primarily use to do these videos and stuff. And my son has this little Sony Bloggy that you can like take with you, and you can record videos. The problem is it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't work. So I'm kind of worried about what I'm going to take there, how I'm going to do videos and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a VR 365 show those 2 days. I might just not do a show those 2 days, and when I come back I do a show. I want to try to record some kind of video though where I'm at booths, but I'm not going to have somebody with me. Like, I'm not going to have a camera guy with me. It's going to be me by myself, and so I'm going to have to like hold up a phone like this and like interview somebody. I don't know exactly how that's all going to work, but I'm going to try to figure that out when I go to GDC. I'll try to get that all figured out. But, you know, whatever. The bottom line is I am going to be there, and I am going to try some awesome demos. That's the bottom line. And so whether or not I don't do a single video and I do, you know, this show, when I come back, I'll be talking about the demos that I had. Whether I have videos or not, we'll figure that out. But I'm super thrilled. I mean, I'm super excited that I'm going to GDC. I believe, you know, 95%, I think I'm going to GDC. I really think it's going to happen. But again, like no absolute 100% confirmation. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into something else. Let's get into an actual real story, because that's not really a real story, is it? So let me see here. I need to go ahead and find a clip that I can use here. So let me look for a clip I can throw onto the screen real quick. And I guess I'll just throw this clip onto the screen while I talk about the next story. So, you know, speaking of the Oculus Quest, I am going to be there at GDC. I do believe I will be trying the Oculus Quest. I'm also going to try to go to the special Oculus only thing where you need to have a GDC badge. I want to go there because there's probably going to be more Oculus Quest demos, maybe shorter lines than just being straight up in GDC in general. So I'm going to go there as well. But speaking of the Oculus Quest, one thing that we found out, I don't know if this was yesterday or today, but we found out that Facebook and Oculus, they are going to set a higher bar for the titles that come to Oculus Quest, which I think this is good news. And I have a number of quotes. So one of the quotes I'm going to go to is, "We've set a high bar for content quality on Quest, higher than we've ever enforced before, in order to build a platform where everyone has confidence in the quality of titles they're buying and developers know that their investments have a strong chance at success." Okay, and one other comment here. We're requiring, let's try that again. Let's try that again. We're requiring that all Oculus Quest developers provide a concept document for us to review before that developer can access the store submission process and non-public development resources. We're looking for evidence of quality and probable market success and alignment to our Oculus developer content guidelines. So yeah, they're setting a higher bar. And basically what they're saying here is that I know that everybody and their mom is making a Quest game. Oculus is very aware of this. Facebook is very aware of this. There's a lot of hype around the Oculus Quest. A lot of people are looking at the Oculus Quest, yours truly included, as kind of the real beginning of VR. I think this is the real beginning of VR because I think all the wires, all the PC cards, accelerators, USB sensors, all that shit has got to go. Look, I know you guys are PC VR gamers. Oh, who wanted Ranthony? Okay, here you go. Here's your rant. This is my rant. And it's like, bro, look, I know you guys are hardcore PC gamers, especially like MAME fan. Like, you guys want high-end experiences, and the Quest is like a child's toy. And so some of you guys aren't hyped on the Quest. But I got to come here and tell you guys that this is the beginning of VR, guys. This is the real beginning. Like 2016, 2017, 2018, throw that crap in the trash. This is where VR is starting. It is starting with the, yeah, see all those wires, the PCs, the phones. They should have had graphic cards flying up in the air and Initech USB cards and USB sensors. They should have had all that shit flying up in the air as well. Because this is the beginning, guys. And I think developers, like all the developers out there, they know this. They're aware of this. And that's why everybody and your mama's uncle is making an Oculus Quest game. And Facebook is saying, hold the F up, folks. Hold up. We're not going to release the floodgates. We're not going to have 150 games just bam, bombarding the Oculus Quest on day one. A lot of it just being like quick ports just being slammed onto the Quest to try to make a quick buck. We're not going to allow that shit. You are going to have to provide us a concept document. You know, we're looking for evidence of quality and probable market success. So get the F out of here if you think you're just going to drop every game under the sun and it's just going to be some crappy ass game, you know, just using assets of somebody else, you know, an asset flip, blah, 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 like we get on Steam. You know, half of the crap on Steam is absolute garbage. And so they're not going to do that. Now, MainFan says it's the beginning of casual VR. Whatever. It's the beginning of real VR because this is real. This is where shit gets real. Okay. Another quote that they have is this new process is specific to Oculus Quest. There have been no changes made to our application submission system for Oculus Rift or Oculus Go. So Facebook and Oculus, they're treating Quest as their baby. This is their baby, and they don't want it to be effed up. And they also know that they are getting into the game with Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft. This is a video game product. I've said it a million times, and I'm going to say it another million times. This needs to be in Target, Walmart, Costco, every major retailer. It needs to be in the video game section. You need to see a Quest box sitting right next to the Nintendo Switch box. And if that doesn't happen, it is a major, major mistake. But I believe they're treating this like this is their baby. And they're setting a higher bar. And it is a great situation here. Okay, so now let's switch over to the Webby browser. Okay, let's switch over here to the Webby browser. And so this is what I'm talking about here. This is on like the Oculus developers blog, submitting your app to the Oculus store, posted by Chris Pruitt, and this was yesterday. And so that's what they're talking about in this post, yada, yada, yada. Is the Rift store changing? No. Why are you doing this? What is the too long didn't read? And basically what they say here is, we have always had a curated approach on our storefronts to ensure that developers are meeting our content and policy guidelines and that customers were getting safe and comfortable VR experiences. As a brand new platform, which we care about an awful lot, okay, I just included that myself, that we will be introducing VR to many people for the first time. Exactly, yeah, this is the beginning of casual VR. The bottom line, guys, is they are taking this seriously, and they don't want a bunch of crap that is dumped on the Quest. And I'm all for it because everybody and their mom is bringing a game out to this thing. They got to, you know, they've got to mind the throne, so to speak. And you know what, folks? Speaking of everybody and their mama bringing a game to Oculus Quest, that's one of the next stories we're going to go to. Let's bounce over here. This is Resolution Games. This is the developer of Angry Birds VR and other miscellaneous games as well. And they just announced yesterday that they have a couple of different games that they're banging away for the Oculus Quest. Now, would it shock anybody if Angry Birds VR, Isle of Pigs, was ported to the Quest? I don't think that would shock anyone. In fact, I would bet dollars to donuts that it is going to happen. Bait is another game that I think might be a VR game that they could, or maybe they could convert it to VR. So Resolution Games working on some Oculus Quest games. Shocker of shockers. Yeah, I mean, this, we keep hearing these stories, and like, for example, we could go back over here. Let's go to Road to VR. Let's go ahead and refresh this real quick. Let's scroll down here for a second. Let's scroll down, or maybe it wasn't on Upload VR. Wait, where are we here? I know I saw a story about Angry Birds developer. Here it is. Angry Birds VR and Bait Dev Resolution Games working on a few Oculus Quest games. Yeah, duh. Everybody and their mom is working on an Oculus Quest game. We know this. I think that's kind of why Facebook got out there on the developer blog and said, look, guys, the floodgates, we're going to have a dam. We're going to have a dam. The floodgates are not open. You're not dropping a ton of crap into our Oculus Quest curated store. It is going to be a tightly curated store, and we're not just going to let all crap come out there. And this is kind of their response, because everybody and their mom is working on a game. Resolution Games are working on a few Oculus Quest games. Shocker of shockers. Not really. It's not really a shocker. Okay, so let's go back to Upload VR, and another story that a lot of folks are talking about. Let me see if I can find it here. Where is it? Oh man, this website keeps like screwing up on me here. Where's the stories that I want when I need them? Hold on. It's one of these stories. Damn it. Now I can't find it. Oh, okay, here it is. Oculus Rift S cameras could support finger tracking in the future. Okay, so you see this headline that Oculus Rift S cameras could support finger tracking in the future. Now, am I out of my mind? Am I completely out of my mind to see this title and think, oh, the Oculus Rift S has been confirmed? Like Oculus has actually said that there's a Rift S? No, they haven't. They haven't. But Upload VR is acting like this is a done deal, guys. There's an Oculus Rift S. To the best of my knowledge, no one at Oculus has ever confirmed a Rift S. Am I out of my mind here? Am I out of my mind? Has anybody confirmed a Rift S? Look, I know it's the best non-kept secret. You know, it's not a secret. We all know that they have something called Rift S, but I don't think anybody at Facebook or Oculus has actually come out and said, yeah, we've got a Rift S. But you read a headline like this and you think, oh, Oculus has admitted that there's a Rift S, and they've said that the cameras that are working in it could possibly support finger tracking. This title is a bit misleading, but you know what? Let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this story, and this story is basically a bunch of different tweets that came out. So let's go ahead to our tweet window and let's figure out what's popping off over here. Okay, so here's our tweet window, and this is our boy of boys, Haney555. Yeah, Haney555 is in the building. He is writing on news and he is generating news his damn self. Okay, so he tweeted at Carmack and he was asking some questions. And so in his tweet, he added a little clip, which was, I think, going back to Oculus Connect 5 or whichever one it was, the last Oculus Connect, where they were talking about finger tracking and all of this stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and read this tweet. And he says, in this clip, you appear to be saying that the limitation to getting optical finger tracking on Quest is the compute power of the SoC, the system on a chip, rather than camera configuration or unsolved research problems. Is that an accurate reading of what you said, or am I misunderstanding? Okay, so this was the original tweet, and Nathy is in the building. What is going on, Nathy? How's it going? Yeah, the tipping point is upon us, folks, with the arrival of the Quest. But, so David Haney, this was his original tweet, okay? And then Carmack responded to that tweet. So let's get into that response. So Carmack responded to that tweet, and he says, we have a lot of internal work that is going on with finger tracking on Quest hardware today, but it does consume a lot of additional power. Now, one of the questions I have is, what are you talking about with additional power? Are you talking about like actual battery life, or are you talking about the power of the processing power of actually rendering the games, processing the games, the Snapdragon, you know, the everything that's involved in that? I think he's talking more about that than like battery life and stuff, because I think he would probably say, well, it's a major drain on battery life. But anyway, this was his response to Haney555, the original tweet. Okay, and so Haney555 responds to that. And he responded to that saying, okay, well, hypothetically speaking, imagine that there's a PC VR headset that happens to use those same cameras. Would they have any kind of a problem? And so he's responding to this hypothetical. Carmack is responding to that. And he's saying, well, if you have an extra x86 core or two that's not being actively used by the application, then it's just the quality of the hand tracking implementation. So Haney 555 has kind of taken all of this and he's created this topic right here, which is saying Oculus Rift S cameras could support finger tracking in the future. And in a way, he's not completely making this up, but I'm just saying, number one, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, because Oculus has never confirmed the Rift S to the best of my knowledge. And so, he's making a lot of assumptions here based on what Carmack is saying. Because see right here, he said, so hypothetically, what would be the limitation for a PC VR headset with the Insight cameras having finger tracking? And so, in a roundabout way, he's saying, look, finger tracking could come to the Rift S at some point into the future. So it's kind of a convoluted story, and it's a lot of assumptions are being made here. And then even if finger tracking does eventually come to the Oculus Quest and the Rift S, it appears to be one of these situations where it's not coming very early in the lifespan. And I kind of believe this is a mistake. I really do. Because I've gotten up here and I've said it a number of times. We're in the year 2019 now. And even though this is the first year of VR, because the Oculus Quest, the launch of the Oculus Quest is the official beginning of modern VR era. I'm kind of joking about that. But the thing is, I thought we might get to the point where somebody could put on a VR headset, and even if their controllers are in another room, they could start using that VR headset immediately. Much in the same way that if someone has a HoloLens 2, they can put it on and they can start immediately using it. All right? And so I kind of am a little bit saddened by the fact that we don't have modern day VR headsets yet that just automatically do 21 points of articulation, and we're not there yet. I think we really need to be there. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be playing games by moving around our fingers, but what I'm saying is if you get your mom, you put your mom into VR, you put that headset on her head. Now, if all she had to do was just kind of move her hands around, and she's like, oh, I see my hands, and I can grab this, and I can move this, and I can go like that. If all she had to do with that, that's one thing. But then you hand her controllers with all kinds of buttons, and she's blinded. She doesn't see the buttons. Has anybody else wondered about this? Like you're in a different VR game, and it's telling you to hit A or Y or X or this button or that button. You're like, I can't see my goddamn controllers. Hasn't anybody ever done this? Where I did this last night, in fact. I was playing something last night, and it was like, press A. And I was like, wait a minute, which one's A? I think it's this button, but I'm not sure. And then I kind of like move my controllers way down here so I can kind of look down here and kind of peek. Oh, there's the A button. Has anybody else done this? Like, we don't even know where the goddamn buttons are. So I really do believe that we need some legitimate finger tracking built in. Like we need basically Leap Motion built into every single headset, or some version of Leap Motion. And I thought that was going to happen in 2019, but it obviously is not happening in 2019. But maybe when we get to 2020, I think headsets should have hand and finger tracking built in from the get-go. It shouldn't even be a question. Like nobody should even ask whether or not it does it. That's a given. That is modern VR. Like it should be in there, and it's kind of unfortunate that the Quest is kicking off modern VR, and it's not going to be there right away. And even if it is there, it's going to use a lot of its power and stuff. I guess we're waiting for Quest number 2. Okay, so we're waiting for Quest number 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our next story. And our next story is Kingdom Hearts, brah. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. The experience is available today. Aren't you guys excited? Are you so freaking excited to do this? So this is the PlayStation Store, but this is actually the European UK PlayStation Store. PEGI and all that stuff. You know, this is in the UK right here, but it is free. You can download this right now. I'm assuming it's in the USA store as well, and if it's not, it's going to be coming there very soon. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts VR experience, Donald Duck in all of his glory in VR, and Goofy in VR, and all of that. Look, I'm not really the anime guy. I'm not really the Kingdom Hearts guy. I'm not really the Japanese, you know, otaku type guy or whatever. So this really isn't my bag, but I know there's a lot of people that really have been clamoring for this and want this. And a lot of people are talking about this on the PlayStation VR store. So, you know, I mean, on the PSVR subreddit. So it's all good for them. Kingdom Hearts VR experience is available today. MainFan will be doing a Let's Play on his channel. This will be the next Let's Play that gets him 500,000 views. Yeah, MainFan is going for 500,000 views on his Kingdom Hearts VR experience. MainFan, I'm so glad that you have decided to do a Let's Play of this, and it's going to be one of your best Let's Plays ever. I've gotten the exclusive on this. It's going to be awesome. Really looking forward to that. Okay, in other news, let's talk about some games that are going to be coming up very soon. And we do have a game that has been delayed. Let's see if I can find it here. Did I not add this? I thought I added it, but I'm not seeing it up here. Okay, hold on one second. Well, actually, we can just go back to, let's go back to, now I'm having some problems, discombobulation.com. Okay, so let's go back to Upload VR. And one of the stories we can get into is this story right here. I thought I had its game profile page up here, but I guess I don't. So Proze is now coming in April. Yes, so this game originally was scheduled for sometime in February, and it just had a general February date, and it's Proze Episode 1 Enlightenment. I don't know if anybody tried the demo on this. It wasn't very good. I don't think the demo was very good, so I honestly don't have like super high hopes for this. But basically, you know, just want to let you guys know that here it is. They have changed their release date to April. So if you've been waiting on Proze Enlightenment, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. This is coming in April, tentatively at this point in time. Developer is Sign. And yeah, that has been delayed a little bit. So at one point they were thinking February, but you know, here we are. It's the last day of February. So I guess they gotta like realize that is not gonna happen for them. Okay, in other games that are coming out and being released on a regular basis, let's see here. Okay, this one here, Nightstar Alliance. So this game, now it's kind of weird here because if we look at release date, it says June 18th, 2019. But this game has been available. Like this is one of those games where it might have tricked me into believing that this is like a brand new VR game. No, this game's been available for a long time, but it's exiting early access today on February 28th. So I believe it has exited early access today. You can buy it for $10. Nightstar Alliance. The reviews are positive. Not a ton of reviews there. But I do have a brand new trailer for this. Nightstar Alliance. Brand new trailer I have never seen before. I think it's a new trailer. So why don't we go ahead and check this out real quick. So I'm going to bounce back over here to our standard scene. And we're going to go ahead and grab this Nightstar Alliance trailer, but I'm going to go ahead and pump up the volume on this Oculus Quest trailer, and we'll switch over. So let's go ahead and grab this.
Oculus Quest is an all-in-one VR system. It's just you and your hands, completely free and
Okay, that is Nightstar Alliance. I believe it is now out of early access. It is available for $10. I can't remember if I've ever played this or not. I might have played this like a long time ago, and it didn't do much of anything for me and I forgot about it. Or maybe I never played it. I can't remember. But you know what? Just looking at like the visuals of this and stuff, it kind of reminds me of that game I played very recently called Contact Last Defense or Contact First Defense or something like that. Kind of where, you know, you have a ship, like you're holding a ship that's like floating and you're like shooting at stuff, you know, so kind of Zortex 26XX to a certain degree. But I think this is a new trailer. I think this trailer just came out recently, so I thought I'd highlight that. But yeah, that is Nightstar Alliance. So that game is out and available. Okay, so let's go back over here to our Webby browser. Yeah, this is the Steam page for Nightstar Alliance. Okay, now let's see here. There's another Steam page I want to get into, which is Virtual Battlegrounds. Let's see if we can look this up. Virtual Battlegrounds. Okay, here we go. Virtual Battlegrounds. Okay, so there's this game, Virtual Battlegrounds. The developer is Cyber Dream. And earlier on today's show, I was talking about how tomorrow's episode, I got to break down all the games of March. You know, all the big VR games that are coming in March. And this is going to be one that's going to be included in my list because this has an actual release date of March 15th, 2019. It is called Virtual Battlegrounds. And so they're getting ready to release that. We've also got a brand new trailer for this that came out like a couple of days ago. So let's go ahead and check out the trailer for Virtual Battlegrounds. We're going to head back over here, pump up this volume, and grab that Virtual Battlegrounds trailer. Here we go. All right, well, that is Virtual Battlegrounds by Cyberdream. That is expected on March 15th. Now, the first thing that pops into my mind is, can this game really compete with everything that's already out there? But people keep trying, man. They keep banging away at this thing. Like, these games just will not stop coming. Everybody thinks they can do it better than the next guy. We've got stuff like War Dust and Contractors and Zero Caliber, Zero Killed. We've got Pavlov. We've got Onward. You know, the thing that kind of sucks about all these games hitting is there's not enough people to make all these games successful. That it's just not going to happen. We don't have enough people in VR to make all these games successful. So some of these developers are going to suffer tremendous losses, and that's unfortunate. Kind of Zero Killed is one that comes to mind. A company I forget who the developer of Zero Killed is, but like, I don't think things can be going too good for the developer of Zero Killed, because most people are playing Contractors, War Dust, or they're playing Pavlov, or they're playing Onward, or they're playing like Echo Combat and stuff like that, or they're playing Standout, you know, and then we got Population 1 coming as well. So, I mean, it just makes it really difficult. But you know what? I guess the one thing that you can say about Virtual Battlegrounds and Cyberdream, the developer, is they've got a puncher's chance. You know, they've got a puncher's chance. Eventually, there's going to be one of these games that comes completely out of nowhere to shock the world. And of course, Phil Yarn might say, well, that already happened. That's Contractors VR. You know, Contractors is that game, and it's already there. And then there's other people that wanted to vote for War Dust as their best game of the entire year of 2018. There's a lot of people that really love War Dust. And so here we have Virtual Battlegrounds, and it's coming on March 15th. And, you know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Looking at this trailer and looking at, like, the movement of the characters, like, one of the things that I look at is I look at, like, the animations and stuff. And, you know, obviously the trailer is going to be designed in such a way to try to make it look really cool. But I try to look at, you know, how are these guys moving around? How are they moving around as they kind of run and jump? And you don't really get a really good, although right there, I don't know, the animations, like that guy falling off of there, animations look okay. I'm not going to say they look horrible. And then like looking at this like map that's on this island, not a tremendous amount of detail, but you do have some zip lining, and I guess there's multiple islands. You got freeways and stuff that are going on as well. You got a little bit of climbing action, which I got really into climbing just recently with Time Transit VR. You got your sniper guns that are out there and available as well. So that is Virtual Battlegrounds. We'll be looking forward to it a little bit later in the month of March. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get into something that I like to get into just about every single day. And that, of course, is the Oculus Daily Deal. And today's Daily Deal is Preta Vendetta Rising. And this is going for $10. The normal price is $20, so it's 50% off. Not too bad of a deal here. We got a little bit over 12 hours left in this. And you know what's interesting? Because when Preta Vendetta Rising, when this game first came out, let me see if I can find who the developer is, because I'm trying to remember. Okay, YJM Games, that doesn't ring a bell. I think they might have had kind of a different name when it like first hit Steam and it hit like PlayStation VR and stuff like that. When Preta Vendetta Rising first came out, I believe it was like $29.99 or like $34.99 or something like that. And I was like, man, y'all are really, you know, you guys need to reevaluate where your pricing is. But it's an interesting game. This is a seated game. You're going to be holding a controller. And so it's kind of like a third person, you know, third person perspective, kind of like Hellblade, kind of like Theseus and stuff like that. But it's like multiplayer and stuff. I forget exactly everything that goes on in this game, but what it says is price reduced, early access package removed, raid system renewed with improved matching and boss AI, new pets added, 300 companion tickets given to early access users, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, Preta Vendetta Rising, it's not terrible. It is not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. And it is available for half price, $10. Hussein X says, I heard Preta has microtransactions, hence the low ratings. And Paradise Decay says Preta was good. I played this for a really brief amount of time, and it wasn't terrible. But like when I played it, they were asking for like $30 or $35 or something like that. And I was like, this is way too expensive for that. But now that, you know, if you grab it on sale for $10, not too bad, but I didn't get really deep into it. But yeah, microtransactions, you know, that's one of the good things. Like VR, one of the good things about being in a trough of disillusionment and not being a mainstream platform where everybody is banging away and making good games on this platform, one of the nice things is we don't have a lot of the crap. Like, we don't have a lot of the microtransactions. We don't have a lot of the loot boxes. We don't have a lot of the games as a service crap that's going on that they have in the flat game world. Like, I thank my lucky stars. Thank you so much that VR has come along and I've become a VR gamer, and I don't play flat games at all anymore. And it's wonderful because I don't have to deal with a lot of the crap that comes with flat games. But yeah, this does have microtransactions. That is a bit of a Debbie Downer. Okay, speaking of crap, speaking of having to like sign into emails and stuff, let's talk a little bit about LA Noire, the VR case files. Yes, this is my background image for today's show. And the reason it is my background image, in fact, this is the image. This is the image that I used right here for my background image. But I am late to the party like you would not believe. Yes, check this out. So LA Noire, trip on this, guys. LA Noire released back on December 15th, 2017. Not last year, the year before. And back when LA Noire came out, I had a 970 graphics card, all right? And I had an Oculus Rift. And I gotta tell you that in the early days of trying to get into LA Noire and trying to play it on an Oculus Rift, first of all, it was very, very difficult to play this game on an Oculus Rift, even if you had a banging ass graphics card back in the earliest days of when this game arrived. It was not Oculus Rift friendly, all right? It took a little while for it to become Oculus Rift friendly. And then the other problem was I had a 970 graphics card. And so every time I tried to get into this game, I kind of got into the menu, and I even got into this part here where I was looking at my desk and I was looking at the revolver and everything, but I never got into the actual game. I never played LA Noire. And I basically took this game and I set it off to the side. And I thought to myself, if I ever get a brand new computer, if I ever have like a good graphics card and a modern day computer, this is a game I'm gonna have to revisit. And I forgot about this game. I forgot about this game for the longest time. I've built myself a brand new computer. I've got a 1080 Ti that's up in this computer. So I feel like I can finally play LA Noire. Amazing, right? So I played this game last night. So let's go back over here to our standard scene. I'm going to go ahead and grab a LA Noire video so I can have it in the background and talk about this for a minute. And I'm not going to have like any really in-depth discussion about LA Noire, the VR case files. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that because I've barely scratched the surface. Yeah, I've barely scratched the surface. But you know what? I saw enough of this game, and I was in this game enough yesterday that I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for Grand Theft Auto VR. I want GTA 5. That's all I could think about. The entire time I was playing this, I was not thinking about what I was actually playing. I was just thinking about, oh my God, Grand Theft Auto will actually work in VR. This actually works. And because basically, so when you're in this game, you know, you're following a story and you're following these different guidelines, you know, you're doing these different things, and you've got your partner there and you're going to the scene of the crime and you're kind of investigating things and all this stuff. But honestly, the only thing I could think about is I just want to walk away from this guy, and I just want to start walking on my own and just walk into this world of 1940s Los Angeles and just walk around and just look at the buildings and look at the cars driving by and look at the random citizens that are just walking down the street, and you know, they say random things, and just cars are driving around, and there's, you know, it's so cool, man, that the whole Grand Theft Auto thing, like, we haven't had that in VR yet. And that's why everybody's trying to do this like VorpX stuff, and they're trying to mod GTA 5, and then, you know, they're trying to mod these things in and trying to get it working, because This in VR, it really is some next level stuff. Like we've got Skyrim in VR, we've got Fallout 4 in VR, and they're both really awesome. They're both super cool. But Fallout 4 is like this like future, you know, it's like 200 years into the future. It's also kind of comedic and stuff. And then Skyrim is like Lord of the Rings type stuff. But we don't have something that is modern era. And LA Noire isn't modern era either. You're walking around 1940s Los Angeles. But man, it was so freaking cool just to kind of explore that. Okay, so Paradise Decay is saying, how was performance? It was pretty decent. There are certain things about this game, though, like I could not find, like there's no free locomotion, right? Is there any kind of mod or anything that like allows like free locomotion in this game? Because basically there's a number of different options for moving around in LA Noire, the VR case files. And the option that I ended up settling on is like you hold down the A button and you swing your arms like this. Okay, so you hold down the A button, you swing your arms like this, and then if you hold down one of the triggers and you do it, you start walking a lot faster. And so that's what I was doing to walk around this game, is I was doing this. Now, I don't know, like I didn't really search in the options and stuff, so maybe there is an option for, oh, there is free loco, damn it. See, Main Fan always knows to go into the options. Like Main Fan, if he goes into any game that he's never been in before, he's looking for the options before he looks for anything. And yeah, Nathy says it does have free locomotion, touch, and thumbstick support. So I absolutely have to enable that, because I was in there, I was trying to do this arm swinging thing, and it sucked, man. Because like it seemed like it worked sometimes, and then it didn't work other times. The other thing I'll say is like I said, I barely scratched the surface. I've barely touched this. And so when I was walking around 1940s LA, it was nighttime. And I was just walking around on an overpass, and there was cars driving by, and I was walking by like a nickel and dime store and stuff, and it was so cool, but it was nighttime. And I kind of want to experience it in the daytime. And I want to see like all these like buildings and stuff like in the daytime, like that right there, like sunlight and stuff. It was nighttime and I was walking around, but man, just playing this, I can't stop thinking about Grand Theft Auto 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to be a killer of killers when it finally comes to VR. It really is. And talk about late to the party. So I am going to continue to be playing this. I'm going to continue to be banging away at this because of the feeling, the vibe that I get. And I need to do a little Let's Play where I'm just walking around the city, because I'm almost more interested in just walking around the city than doing any of the missions. I did do some of the missions where you got the shotgun and you're like, you know, like you're basically like node-based movement kind of. You're like teleporting behind cover, and then you stick your gun out and shoot, and you get back behind cover. And that was pretty cool. It all worked out pretty well. So I'm going to continue to play this. I know I'm like 2 years late to the party. Oh well, tough titty. I finally got to it. Finally got to play it. Pretty excited about that. So that is LA Noire, the VR case files. All right, well, you know what? I've pretty much gone through basically all of the stuff that I really wanted to do. Why don't I go ahead and check out some chat? So Main Fan says, Anthony has issues with option menus. I don't have issues with it. What I have is I don't look for it. I don't look for it right away. This is the way I start every single game. I go into the game and I just try to start playing, and I don't even want to read your tutorials. I don't even want, like, I just want to get into the game and get into the game world and start the process. And so I prefer games that kind of have their tutorial built into the game, and you just start playing in the game and you just start figuring it out in the game. And I know that I should probably look at options. I really should look for options, but I don't typically do that. Let's see. Gaming in Still Life says, always do smooth turn and free loco. No, I always do snap turn. I'm a snap turn guy. I love free loco, but I am a snap turn guy. I'm a snap turn guy. I don't like doing smooth turn. Yeah, I know everybody says that, you know, get with it, learn smooth turn. It's not that big of a deal. So Rendered Reality says, LOL, we all wish GTA 6 VR would be a dream come true. Greg's VR says GTA 5 VR is the game to break the internet. Oh, you know what? One weird thing though. See, I've always wondered, how is Grand Theft Auto 5 going to work when you're sitting down and you're standing up? Like, I did find driving the car in this game is a little weird. And maybe this is something I also need to go into the options and figure out how to drive a car. Because basically the way they teach you how to do it is like you hit your grip button on this controller, you grab the steering wheel, and then you grab the steering wheel. And so you're kind of doing this, you know, almost like Nintendo Wii. Like you're pretending you're having a wheel. You pretend that you're holding a wheel and you're turning like this. And then you hit your trigger like this to try to speed up fast. And you go like that, and you know, and then this is brake and this is gas. And so one of the things I need to figure out is there another option? Is there another way to drive? Because I really just want to do like thumbstick, like just drive with the thumbstick like I have a regular controller. But what I did was I had my chair. So I put my chair there, and so I would be standing up, and then anytime it went to a driving sequence, I would sit down, and then I would hit my thumbstick. And so whenever it was stand up, I would hit my thumbstick, and I would be in a stand-up thing, and I'd be doing whatever I'm doing, and then I would sit down. So I kind of just had the chair behind me, but every once in a while, I'd kind of start moving around, and I'd like bang into my chair and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm really liking this. I definitely need to play this a lot more. Going back to chat, let's see here. Yeah, Nathy mentioned something about a meetup for GDC, and I think that would be sweet because I am going to GDC and I would like to meet all these other YouTuber guys. I think that would be really cool to meet up with all these YouTuber guys. So we'll definitely have to figure that out, where we can all meet up somewhere one of the nights or something, maybe go to a restaurant or something and everybody just meets up. I think that'd be super cool. So yeah, I believe I'm going to GDC. I would put it at 95% I will be at GDC. So that would be super cool. I'd like to see Sebastian and, you know, all the other VR related YouTubers. Would be kind of cool. Definitely. Okay, well, I need to bounce the heck out of here. So let me go ahead and grab my little outro logo and call this a show. I know a little bit discombobulated on this episode. This is what's going to happen sometimes. All right, guys, well, that's basically going to do it for episode 111 of our show. I will be back tomorrow on Friday with much more stuff to discuss and get into, so we'll definitely go ahead and get into that. I'm going to play some more LA Noire. I'm still playing Time Transit VR. I played more of that yesterday. I did a Let's Play for it. There are some performance issues, and the Let's Play is a little, like in certain spots, the video is kind of sketch. But I thought I would just go ahead and post it anyway. And just like if somebody wants to watch it, they can watch it. If not, no big deal. But I did play more Time Transit VR. I did see some bigger dinos. I finally saw like the big plant-eating dinos, Diplodocuses, like a family of them walked by me. That was kind of cool. Graphics are pretty cool. I'd still say, like if it was $20, I could probably kind of recommend it. But at $35, I still think, you know, wait for a sale is kind of my thoughts on Time Transit VR. But I'll probably try to play it a little bit more. And I have to imagine on VR Roundtable this week, when we do our VR Roundtable episode on Sunday, I think Gary and Steve and Chris, I think everybody's going to be trying Time Transit VR. And we'll probably be talking about that on our VR Roundtable episode on Sunday. So, you know, look forward to that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and I will see everybody tomorrow around 11 a.m. Pacific time. See you guys then. Have a good one. Take it easy, and later.